Hey, what's going on, guys? This is going to be my out-of-box review for the 1/48 scale Laevatein. I'm taking another stab at the name there without really knowing too well how to actually go about pronouncing that. But anyway, this is from Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory, and this model is made by Aoshima. And this review is sponsored by USA Gundam Store, so thank you to them. Check the link to their site there down below, guys, if you would. And also, let's just take a look around this kit. So this is the first kit from Aoshima that I've ever built. And I kind of felt it was a little bit similar to like building a bootleg Gunpla kit, to be honest, just in that it didn't really have quite the same finesse, and just it wasn't quite as solid as a Bandai kit. You've got some loose parts here and there, everything actually fit pretty well. There wasn't really any fitting issues, but you've just got some looseness here and there, and some of the plastic I feel like will definitely need some serious sanding on it, more than just kind of your standard need for just kind of normal sanding. So in that respect, I felt it was building this kit was a little bit similar to a bootleg kit, just in the feel of it. But obviously, Aoshima is just a much smaller company than Bandai. They don't have quite the technology and all the resources that Bandai has. Other than that, it's a really cool kit. There's a lot of cool gimmicks and option parts in here. There's a lot of stuff in the box. It's at a high price though too, so you gotta have to weigh that against it. And Bandai is making their own version of this kit as well, but that's going to be in a different scale. In the smaller scale, this is 1/48th. Bandai's version is going to be 1/60th. So as we've seen before, Bandai's 1/60 scale Full Metal Panic kits are about the size of a high-grade Gunpla, and this one is closer to the size of a master-grade Gunpla. So I'll give you a size comparison here in a few moments, and then of course when Bandai's version comes out, we'll compare them as well. But let's take a look at what all we've got included with this kit for here first. So first up, we had a pretty large sticker sheet, and these went on, I didn't put a few of them on, these went on not really very well. Some of the smaller ones, like basically everything that you see in orange on here, all this lining bits, it's all stickers. And they go on kind of well, but I don't feel like those are really going to be all that good. If you're looking for a long-term solution, I would definitely recommend just painting those. Also for the eyes and those little stickers here around on the head. Little gray bit there, sticker here on the top, orange bits there, sticker for the eyes. And so I just think the stickers for this are not very good. I think if you are wanting to have the details represented in the correct colors, I would definitely recommend just painting this. Now for hand options for the kit, we have some nice options in just their details and just the amount of options. So we've got the closed fist there on the kit. We've also got a set of open hands, all for the left and the right side. We got a set of regular holding hands here, and a set of trigger finger hands again for the left and the right side. For up underneath here, there is a hole for plugging this onto an action base, so you'll have to use this piece here with the hole cut out of that instead. So if you don't want to have this on an action base, you can have this bottom part of the waist unit completely covered if you want. Then we've got some options here for the knee. So this is just the normal knee, but if you pop this off, you can replace this with the single molecule cutter, which I guess like in theory is supposed to come out of there, I suppose. And so that's how that's going to look, just kind of like deployed but not actually in use. I really like that. I think that's really cool. Just the comparison. The regular knee is cool, but I like this extended one. Really reminds me of like the XS Gundam. So that's pretty cool. And then you have an option of actually having the blade extended on that. So if you want, you can have this like using that with the blade extended out of the knee. You pop that into there like that, and there you go. So that's pretty cool as well. But your third option is to have it so as if he like took that all the way out of his knee, and then you have just that just by itself like this. So then this can just be handheld. That would be just the handheld version of that. So of course we have all of these parts for the left and the right side, so we've got two of those and all of that. Then you do have a couple of other knives here. I don't remember exactly what these were called, but anyway, they're just these regular smaller daggers that you can hand hold like that if you want. But speaking of handling, you do have another option, and that is to use the subarm. So this part of the side of the chest kind of here, there's a subarm. If you take this off, we have just a replacement part for that. It's this here, and again we do have one for the left and the right side, so there's some articulation built into this, and this is where I'm finding a couple of these parts popping off very easily on here. But you do have some nice articulation in this, how it can bend and rotate and bend there, and then you just open the hand up and you can have it holding onto a knife or something. So this will just pop down into there, and there you go. To have that subarm just popped out holding the knife or something like that, I think is pretty cool. If you use like in close combat, I suppose that would come in pretty handy. I suppose that's probably used in the anime, but again, I've never watched the anime, I've never seen anything about Full Metal Panic at all, so just keep that in mind in this review. Then we have the Lambda Driver Cancellers. The Lambda Driver Canceller units will plug onto the shoulders, so basically you take these parts here off, and then instead you'll plug these on there. And I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be at the top with this whole bit there, but that just plugs onto the side of the shoulder. So I'll show you what that actually looks like here in a few moments. But just to finish up here, we have the clear part, which is out the back of the head. So this will just open up like so. There's a small little hole there in the back of the head where this will plug in, and I guess this is part of like the heat exhaust kind of gimmick, something like that. But it's a very impressive piece though, and it's nice that it's plain clear, so you can paint that in a specific color if you want. But it's really nicely detailed, and just the shape of that looks really nice. And then onto his other weapons, we have the Boxer 2 units, which is basically just a shotgun, I suppose. The stock will fold back, and you can have that being like so. The ammo clip will come out, and you can see there's some molded ammunition in there if you want to do some pose where he's like reloading that. Also, this does have real pumping action there. And then we have this connection piece for plugging this onto the back skirt, so that will just clip around there. And then what you'll do is just pull out that gray piece there and replace it with this, and just pop that on for storage on the back. And finally, the Demolition Gun, which I have folded up here at the moment with the trigger finger hand already attached onto that. And this piece on the bottom, which keeps wanting to fall off. But so yeah, that folds up, but you can of course fold this out, rotate that, and fold this, and then lock that into place. And you're going to end up with a very, very large gun here. You can fold out this bit on the side, and there's a secondary handle that folds out of there, but I found it's very, very tight. You can plug this up onto the top of the shoulder with this bit here. It'll just fold around like that, and you can rotate that to plug that onto there when it's folded up and not in use anyway. But this thing is super cool, super huge. It's much, much taller than the actual robot itself, but this thing will be very cool. And it's not really all that heavy, so I think it should be able to hold it just fine. Really nice details around on here as well. You can see there is going to be a seam line through the barrel, but you'll just have to do a little bit of work on that. And for a quick size comparison here, you can see it compared to Bandai's Arbalest kit there, which is in 160 scale. So you can tell kind of the size difference between there, how big those are going to be compared to each other, as well as compared to a 1:100 scale Gundam kit. Obviously not a Gundam in this case, a Jim, but a standard 18-meter tall Gundam series robot is going to be about the same size. So basically this is about the same size as a master grade. Alright, so let's talk about a little bit of the articulation of this kit. It's pretty good, but again, with some stuff being kind of loose, there's going to be probably some parts falling off. What I would recommend is just going ahead and gluing some of this kit together once you get that. But as you can see, the articulation of the head up is not going to be any problem there. It looks pretty nice there, and then down as well. No problems with that. In the stomach section, we have a few different points of articulation for a really nice full stomach crunch there, forward and back, side to side. Be able to get it to about like that. Very nice. The shoulder joint forward and back, not going to be all that much. This is where you can see probably Bandai's version is going to have the upper hand for sure on this point of articulation. And the shoulder can move independently, but still the arm is really only going to be able to come up to about 90 degrees there, which is really not all that much. Otherwise, the arm works pretty normally. Rotation there at the top, and then a double joint in the elbow. You have an extra little joint here at the middle of the forearm, and then the wrist is just on a ball joint. There's not really any skirts to speak of here, except for the back skirts, of course, and these can be moved a little bit up and down if you want. And due to the lack of skirts, there's not going to be anything really too much getting in the way of the legs, getting a really wide spread there, and then forward, of course, nothing's really going to be too much in the way of that either. They're going to have a nice double bend there at the knee, but not really super far, and you can see there's no separation of this knee armor at all. It's just stuck here onto the lower leg, but still a pretty good knee bend there. And then at the ankles, this front armor will move independently. This armor here on the front and back of the lower leg there will also separate out a little bit for when you're moving the ankle forward and back. And then we have a lower joint there as well. And the toe is separate, so you can move that up and down there as well. And up underneath the feet, some pretty nice detail there also. Alright, so here he is, and I gotta say, the articulation does work to really be able to get this into some pretty cool poses, and with all the different gimmicks of that, the subarm and the chest, the knee, knife, poking out of there and all that, it does look very cool. All the color separation between the white, the red, and the gray and everything all looks really nice as well. One problem that I'm noticing there, however, with the action base connector, with that being just a peg, is that the kit is not super heavy, but it is going to be weighted on like HG kits. Just onto a single circular shaped peg like that really isn't usually too much of a big deal. But with a kit like this, it's going to rotate. If the weight is not evenly distributed, it's going to fall to one side or the other just because it's spinning on that circular action-based connector. So some sort of connector that was a like clip onto there or something, I think would have been a little bit more secure. But with this being not a Bandai kit, they obviously didn't really plan exactly on a Bandai action base, unfortunately. I'm not really sure what base they had in mind, probably a Kotobukiya action base or something like that, I suppose, using the same circular peg connection. But whatever the case, with some finagling, in this case I just planted one foot slightly on the floor just to keep it sort of elevated. You can get it to be posed up well enough to do some pretty cool posing out of this, and just all the knife blades, everything out of there look pretty cool. But all that said, just the negatives of the kit, I've kind of already touched on them basically. The stickers really aren't that good if you do want to use stickers if you don't paint. There's a couple seam lines here and there, really not too bad. The plastic quality seems fine, but there are some fitting issues, mostly where the polycaps are and just things like that. Some pieces I would definitely recommend gluing. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's a pretty solid kit. Like I said, the color separation and all the details and everything is all pretty good. The articulation is all nice once you just keep everything together without some stuff falling apart. And so I would say basically this is very much like a Kotobukiya kit in the fact that it seems it's definitely made for people. I think if you really want to maximize this kit, you need a little bit more experience, a little bit more skill. I wouldn't say that if you're a beginner, I wouldn't say definitely don't buy the kit. By all means, I think you can buy the kit and enjoy it fine. But it is going to be a kit that is going to take a little bit more work. It's not going to be like a Bandai Master Grade where you can just snap it up and paint it up and it'll be totally solid without doing anything else really to it. So in conclusion, guys, if I can really recommend this kit or not would basically come down to a few things. With this kit costing around $50 and Bandai's upcoming version costing around $30, there's obviously going to be a difference in the price. Now I'd say if you're the kind of person that usually likes building master grades and you're willing to do a little bit more extra work on this, then I would say just go for this one. It's definitely, I think, worth the price. It's definitely not too bad. But if you're the kind of person that prefers, smaller kits, high grades, real grades, and aren't looking to really spend quite as much, and you're looking for something to be a little bit more solid and just easier to work with just straight out of the box, then I would say Bandai's version is probably going to be better. But then again, we haven't seen Bandai's yet, and I don't know exactly how it's going to compare just in terms of the accessories and things as well. And I think that that's the one thing that this kit definitely has is a lot of really nice accessories and gimmicks and all of that. So we'll compare those once I've got Bandai's kit in hand. But in the meantime, I think this is a pretty cool, pretty interesting, solid kit. If you're interested in the series, if you're a fan of the series, and you've liked what you've seen in the review and you're okay with the few negative points that I pointed out, then by all means pick one up and I think you'll enjoy it pretty well. So that's it for the review, guys. Hopefully this was helpful for anyone who is interested in looking at some more about this kit. If you have any other further questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below. I'm sure I may have missed important points about the kit. I tried not to, but again, I'm not familiar with the original property at all, so feel free to leave those comments down below and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you to USA Gundam Store for sponsoring the review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hey! Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to USA Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.